Let me tell you something. Control starts with you. It's not about blaming the world, pointing fingers, or waiting for someone to rescue you. It's about taking responsibility for the person staring back at you in the mirror. Your mouth. Oh, it's a double-edged sword. The words you speak, they carry power. They can lift someone higher than they've ever been, or they can cut deeper than a blade. And the scary part? Once those words leave your lips, you can't take them back. So ask yourself, are you using your mouth to build or destroy? Because every time you speak, you're leaving a mark on someone else and on yourself. Then there's your mood. We've all had days where our emotions got the best of us, snapped at someone who didn't deserve it, made a decision in anger that we regret hours later. But listen to me. Your mood is like the weather. It changes. You can't let a stormy moment ruin the sunny future. Stop reacting to everything. Take a breath. Walk away if you have to. Own your mood. Don't let it own you. And money. Oh, money. It's a tricky thing, isn't it? Some people let money define them, but they never learn to control it. They chase it, hoard it, or spend it without thinking. And then they wonder why they feel empty. But money's just a tool, nothing more. If you don't have control over it, it'll have control over you. So learn to use it wisely. Save it, invest it, share it. Let it work for you instead of the other way around. Now the mind, that's where the real battle begins. Your thoughts can be your best friend or your worst enemy. If you let negativity run wild in your mind, it'll eat you alive. But if you train your mind, feed it with positive thoughts, with focus, with discipline, you can conquer anything. Remember, the biggest enemy is often the one inside you. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. When you feel that urge to snap back, to defend, to prove a point, pause. Because in that silence, you'll find clarity. And clarity will always guide you to the right action. Don't give in to impulse. Quick reactions, rash decisions, they'll lead you down paths you don't want to walk. Pause, breathe, and then decide. Discipline your impulses, and you'll see how much smoother life gets. Here's the truth. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about freedom. When you learn to control your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're building a life that can weather any storm because it's built on a foundation of self-control. So, take charge. Be deliberate. Speak with purpose. Stay calm in chaos. Respect your money and guard your mind. Because when you master these, you don't just change your life, you elevate it. And that, my friend, is the ultimate power. Your words hold incredible power. Every time you speak, you're creating ripples that can either build bridges or burn them down. Words are not just sounds, they're energy. And that energy has the power to shape your reality. Think about it. How many times have you felt uplifted by someone's kind words, or completely deflated by harsh ones? That's the impact of language. It cuts through the noise and leaves an imprint on the hearts and minds of others. What you say reflects the person you are. It shows your values, your attitude, your level of respect for yourself and for those around you. When you speak carelessly, you're not just disrespecting others, you're undermining your own character. But when you choose your words carefully, with intention and thoughtfulness, you gain the power to inspire, to heal, and to connect on a level that goes beyond the surface. Think about the moments in your life when you've said something you later regretted. Those words might have been spoken in anger, frustration, or haste. Once they're out, you can't take them back. You might apologize, you might explain, but the words are already etched into someone's memory. That's why it's so crucial to pause before you speak. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say necessary? Is it kind? Will it help or hurt? And remember, the way you talk to yourself matters just as much as the way you talk to others. Negative self-talk, those quiet whispers of doubt and fear, can sabotage your growth and keep you stuck in a cycle of insecurity. But when you speak to yourself with encouragement and belief, you start to rewrite the narrative of your life. Your words can lift people up higher than they've ever been, or they can bring them crashing down. The choice is always yours. Speak with intention. Speak with purpose. Speak in a way that leaves people and yourself better than before. Because in the end, your words are a reflection of who you are and what you stand for. Your mood is one of the most powerful forces in your life, but it can also be one of the most destructive if you let it control you. Moods are fleeting. They come and go like waves in the ocean. But the choices you make in those moments can last a lifetime. Think about how many relationships have been damaged, opportunities lost, or regrets created because someone acted purely out of anger, frustration, or sadness. When your emotions take over, they cloud your judgment. They make small problems seem massive. Temporary situations feel permanent, and they push you toward decisions that you might not make if you just paused for a moment. That's the thing. Most of the time, it's not the situation that's the real problem. It's how you respond to it. And your response comes from your mood in that moment. You've probably experienced times when your mood felt like a trap, when you were stuck in a cycle of negativity and couldn't see a way out. It's easy to fall into that trap when you're tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. But here's the truth. You don't have to act on every emotion you feel. You don't have to give your mood the power to dictate your actions. When you learn to control your mood, you take back control of your life. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to how you're feeling and why. Recognize the triggers that pull you into negativity and then decide how you want to respond. Sometimes that means walking away, taking a deep breath, or giving yourself a moment to cool down. Other times, it's as simple as reminding yourself that this feeling is temporary. It won't last forever. Control doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging them, understanding them, and choosing not to let them control you. A moment of anger can ruin a relationship. A flash of fear can make you miss out on an incredible opportunity. And a wave of sadness can make you believe that nothing will ever get better. But when you master your mood, you gain the ability to respond with clarity, with purpose, and with strength, no matter what life throws your way. Money is one of the most misunderstood tools in life. For some, it's a source of stress. For others, it's the ultimate goal. And for many, it's both. But here's the thing. Money is not your master unless you allow it to be. It's just a tool, and like any tool, its value depends on how you use it. Too often, people let money control them. They chase it endlessly, thinking it will solve all their problems. They spend it impulsively, trying to fill emotional voids. Or they hoard it out of fear, never allowing themselves to enjoy the life they've worked for. In every case, the money ends up owning them instead of the other way around. But when you learn to control your money, everything changes. It starts with understanding that money isn't the goal, it's a resource. It's something you manage, not something you live for. This means knowing where your money is going, planning for the future, and making decisions that align with your values instead of your impulses. Saving is not about deprivation, it's about security. Investing isn't about greed, it's about growth. And spending isn't about indulgence, it's about freedom. When you use money wisely, you create options for yourself. You open doors to opportunities. You build a life where you're not constantly worrying about the next paycheck or drowning in debt. But controlling your money goes beyond numbers and budgets. It's about mindset. It's about realizing that wealth isn't just about how much you have, it's about how well you use what you have. It's about giving yourself the power to say no to things that don't serve you and yes to the things that truly matter. And let's not forget generosity. When you control your money, you have the ability to give, to help others, to make a difference in ways that go far beyond yourself. That's the ultimate power of financial discipline. Not just freedom for you, but the ability to create change for others. Your relationship with money will define so much of your life, but it doesn't have to define you. When you stop letting it control your decisions, your emotions, and your self-worth, you start to see it for what it really is, a tool. And the better you master that tool, the better you can shape the life you want to live. Your mind is the starting point of everything you do. Every decision you make, every success you achieve, every failure you endure, it all begins in your thoughts. Your mind is the battleground where you win or lose long before anything happens in the real world, and if you don't take control of it, it will control you. Think about it. Your mind is constantly running like a never-ending stream of thoughts, worries, doubts, and dreams. Some of those thoughts push you forward, but others pull you back. The problem is that most people let those negative thoughts run wild. They allow self-doubt to creep in, replaying fears and failures until those thoughts become their reality. You've got to take charge of that process. You've got to guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. What you feed your mind shapes how you see the world, how you see yourself, and what you believe is possible. If you constantly fill it with negativity, with doubts, with excuses, then that's all you'll ever see, and that's all you'll ever get. But when you start feeding your mind with positivity, discipline, and focus, everything changes. Your thoughts become clearer, your goals become sharper, and you begin to realize that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought. That doesn't mean you'll never have negative thoughts again. You will. But controlling your mind isn't about eliminating negativity completely. It's about not letting it take root. When a negative thought enters your mind, acknowledge it, question it, and replace it with something better. Train your brain to look for solutions instead of problems, for opportunities instead of obstacles, and protect your mental energy. What you allow into your mind, whether it's the media you consume, the people you surround yourself with, or the stories you tell yourself, matters. Surround yourself with things that inspire, uplift, and motivate you, because what goes into your mind will come out in your actions. Control your mind, and you'll find that the challenges you once thought were insurmountable become opportunities to grow. The fears that used to paralyze you lose their grip, and the dreams that felt out of reach start to feel closer than ever. Because once you take control of your mind, you unlock the power to take control of your life. Silence is one of the most underrated forms of strength. In a world where everyone seems eager to speak, to react, to prove a point, choosing to stay silent can feel like going against the grain. But silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Knowing when to speak and when to hold your tongue is a skill that can save you from unnecessary conflict, misunderstandings, and regret. There's power in restraint. Sometimes, the best response is no response at all. When you feel the urge to snap back, to defend yourself, or to argue, pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will my words add value, or will they just fuel the fire? Most of the time, you'll find that silence speaks louder than anything you could say. Silence also gives you the gift of clarity. It creates space to think, to process, and to truly understand the situation. When you're quiet, you're able to observe more, to listen better, and to make decisions with a clear head. Instead of reacting impulsively, you're responding thoughtfully, and that's where real power lies. And let's not forget, Silence can also disarm those who seek to provoke you. When someone comes at you with negativity or anger, they expect a reaction. But when you don't give them one, it takes the wind out of their sails. It shows them that their words have no control over you, that their attempts to rattle you are futile. But silence isn't just about withholding words, it's about choosing them wisely. When you do speak, let your words carry weight. Let them come from a place of purpose and intention, not emotion or impulse. Because the less you say, the more people will listen when you do speak. In silence, there's strength, focus, and discipline. It's a reminder that you don't have to participate in every argument, that not every opinion deserves a response, and that sometimes the loudest statement you can make is to say nothing at all. Silence is control, and control is power. Patience is a rare and powerful virtue. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, where everyone wants results now, where quick fixes and immediate responses seem to be the norm, patience feels like a forgotten skill. But let me tell you, those who can master patience can master almost anything. The truth is, impulsive decisions often lead to regret. Think about how many times acting too quickly has cost you, whether it was speaking without thinking, spending money you didn't plan to, or jumping into situations you weren't ready for. Impulse may give you a moment of satisfaction, but it's patience that gives you lasting results. Patience isn't about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about waiting with purpose. It's about understanding that some things take time to build, grow, or resolve. It's knowing when to act and when to pause. Sometimes the best action is no action at all, just giving things the space to unfold naturally. But patience isn't easy. It requires discipline. It requires you to resist the temptation to react immediately, to avoid shortcuts, and to trust the process even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's about having the strength to endure discomfort, delay, or uncertainty without losing sight of your goal. Patience also brings perspective. When you take a step back and give yourself time to think, you often see things more clearly. You realize that what seemed urgent wasn't really that important. You discover solutions you might have overlooked in the heat of the moment. And you make decisions that are not only better for the present, but for the future as well. And don't underestimate how patience can affect the way people see you. Someone who remains calm under pressure, who doesn't rush to judgment or act out of desperation, commands respect. They show strength, maturity, and self-control. Patience doesn't mean you're weak or passive, it means you're strategic. It means you understand that great things are rarely built overnight. It means you trust that the right opportunities, outcomes, and rewards will come in their own time, as long as you keep working and keep faith. Patience isn't just waiting, it's the strength to wait well. Discipline is the cornerstone of true freedom. While many people think of discipline as a form of restriction, something that takes away joy or limits choice, the reality is the opposite. Discipline doesn't confine you, it liberates you. It creates a life where you're not controlled by impulses, distractions, or fleeting emotions, but guided by intention, purpose, and clarity. Every successful person you admire, every great achievement you see, is built on a foundation of discipline. Talent alone isn't enough. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline, the ability to show up, to stay consistent, to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. That's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Discipline is about making small, consistent choices every day that lead to big results over time. It's about saying no to the things that don't serve your goals so you can say yes to the things that do. It's about setting boundaries with yourself, whether it's controlling your time, your habits, or your mindset, and sticking to them no matter what distractions come your way. But discipline isn't easy. It's hard to get up early when you want to stay in bed. It's hard to save money when it's easier to spend. It's hard to stay calm when your emotions are pulling you in every direction. But here's the thing. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're building strength. You're training yourself to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term gratification. Discipline also brings clarity. When you have control over your actions, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You focus on what's important, and that focus creates momentum. And once you have momentum, the things that once felt hard start to feel natural. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You're going to slip up. You're going to have days where you feel like you've failed. But discipline is about getting back on track, no matter how many times you fall. It's about showing up every single day for yourself and your goals. And the beauty of discipline is that it creates freedom, freedom from regret because you know you gave your best, freedom from chaos because your life has structure, freedom to live on your terms because you've built the habits and systems that allow you to thrive. Discipline isn't a burden. It's the bridge that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. At the end of the day, controlling your mouth, mood, money, and mind isn't just about discipline. It's about designing a life you're proud of. It's about stepping into your own power and refusing to let the world, your emotions, or your impulses dictate who you are or where you're going. When you speak with intention, you uplift yourself and others. When you master your mood, you navigate life with clarity and strength. When you take charge of your money, you create security and freedom. And when you discipline your mind, you unlock the potential to achieve things you once thought impossible. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey, a daily commitment to yourself. You're going to face challenges. You'll stumble, and you'll have days where it feels easier to give in than to push forward. But every step you take toward control is a step toward a better you, a better future, and a better life. So start now. Take one step today, no matter how small, toward mastering these areas of your life. Because when you control your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind, you don't just live, you lead, you create, and most importantly, you thrive. At the end of the day, controlling your mouth, mood, money, and mind isn't just about discipline. It's about designing a life you're proud of. It's about stepping into your own power and refusing to let the world, your emotions, or your impulses dictate who you are or where you're going. When you speak with intention, you uplift yourself and others. When you master your mood, you navigate life with clarity and strength. When you take charge of your money, you create security and freedom. And when you discipline your mind, you unlock the potential to achieve things you once thought impossible. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey, a daily commitment to yourself. You're going to face challenges, you'll stumble, and you'll have days where it feels easier to give in than to push forward. But every step you take toward control is a step toward a better you, a better future, and a better life. So start now. Take one step today, no matter how small, toward mastering these areas of your life. Because when you control your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind, you don't just live, you lead, you create, and most importantly, you thrive.